Hello, my little goblins. We're back at it, and we're here with my favorite waifus.
We have the suspect. He's seems like he's has brown hair, brown eyes, morbidly obese fella. Goes by the name of Fatso. I'd really just ring him in.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. We're here with my favorite trap cards. Yeah, let's go with that. I think these cards, we're playing Traptrix. That's what we're playing today. And the cards, they got a bunch of new cards. What did they get that was new? Field Spell, Garden. This card lets them normal summon another Traptrix. And it also lets you special summon a Traptrix with the cost of banishing a monster you control. And the first time a plant or insect monster would be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not destroyed. So pretty good. And then the other cards that renew is Traptrix Putika. So this card pretty much is insane. Lets you grab the field spell, but the secondary effect's really good spot removal for dealing with like immediate threats of your opponent. So when this is special summon, you can target one special summon monster your opponent controls, banish it. But during the next standby phase, the opponent can special summon that card back. So yeah, that card's nuts. This card is a crazy good extender, but this does lock you into plants and insects. But if you just have a Traptrix card in the field, you can special summon it. And the last two cards that are crazy is Traptrix Holotea. So this card is going to enable us to actually play the game. So you can activate this card by discarding a normal trap the turn it was set. So if this card was just set, you can activate it immediately just by discarding a normal trap. It lets you special summon it. It's a plant. It's level 4. That's very important. And again, if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it and then target one Traptrix card in the graveyard, special summon it. So this card can combo with Putika to bounce or Murmello to blow up their back row. It just makes it really easy to go into some of these other cards. The last two cards we're going to go over are going to be the new Extra Dex monsters. So first one is going to be Pingaculia, which this card pretty much lets you search Traptrix out of the deck and add it to hand so you can search follow-up. The other important part about this card, if a monster owned by your opponent is sent to the graveyard or banished by card effect, you can attach one of those monsters to this as material, which is pretty neat. And this card's also unaffected by cards with the same type as the card's material. So if it has material, it's unaffected by traps, which all the Traptrix have. But if your opponent has like something weird, like let's say a winged beast, and they summon the Floateries, M-Pen, it'll be and you sucked up like one of their winged beasts, you will be actually unaffected by M-Pen's effects. So pretty cool. Good card. And then lastly, the Traptrix Oedipus is a one of in the deck again. And this card pretty much is your OTK special. So when it's link summoned, this card is unaffected by Traptrix. All trap cards, all Traptrix monsters you control gain 1,000 attack while you have a normal trap in the graveyard, and you can target face-up cards your opponent control up to the number of insect and plant monsters your opponent controls and negate their effects, and then you can pop one of the cards with this effect by banishing a trap in the graveyard. So this card just makes all your Traptrix massive, and it lets you OTK super easily. So one of the other cards we're playing, Baguska, guaranteed you have to play that. Dweller, possibly. You might, if you were going to cut one of these cards, maybe Dweller, you can cut Dweller possibly, and you put in another Rafflesia. I don't know if you need another Rafflesia, but it's pretty damn good in the deck. So, and then Alamoreus is only in the deck because the secondary effect just can bring back a card to have follow up with. That's the main reason why you have this. But yeah, the deck's really solid, in my opinion. Sorry if this intro was a bit long, but we're going to get into some matches, and you guys are going to see how the deck performs. Hello, we're here with game number 1 against Teddy, and we have some muy caliente games for you guys. First game, we are going to be maxing our opponent because he's a rat, and then he plays Ash Blossom because we're a rat. Is what it is. But we're going to fast forward through this. This guy's just going to full sprite combo me. If I have evenly match, which honestly this game should be an instant loss for me, to be completely honest, but he ends up getting red over carrot, which I feel like most players do get carrot at this point, so I thought this was a little confusing. to me personally. Also, he didn't end on... I'm like surprised he didn't end on Sprint IP too, which would have been also pretty good. But he brings back this. I move to combat. I evenly. Boom. He activates all his shit. Whatever. I do think I should have impermed the Sprite Elf. I wanted to save it though, in case he kept Caddy. And also I knew I was going to be able to draw 2 off triple tactics. The problem is I thought I was going to draw some better cards. I ended up drawing, like, my hand's like super awkward to be honest. So we imperm this so he can't activate. Go into Sarah. And then we set 2. So, I mean, it's the best we can do. He has a Jet. He has a Jet and 2 random cards. We already know what he has. He has Evenly, obviously. The good thing is Sarah plays through Evenly pretty well because he does this. And then this triggers, which lets us summon Diana. Diana grab Holotea. And boom, we get a Trap Hole, so... The problem is I can't activate any other cards, so again, he's just going to full Sprite combo me. Surprise, surprise. Pretty much a rat move. So if you're hearing me, Teddy, you're a rat. So here comes this. Boom. Sets up the Rodent Toad. Okay, cool. Neato. Here's Soul Sweeper. He's going to get rid of Sarah. Honestly, not the greatest move. Like honestly, I think this is bizarre. I mean, he's gonna end up Avermax. He has Avermax, which is pretty good, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling this play personally. Buckaroo. We're gonna go into Sarah though. He activates Caddy. I activate Holotea. We're pretty much just gonna try and get some activations out of the way. There's the Penny. Activate the Sarah. And now Penny is going to be able to go into the Herald. And I'm going to be special summoning Pudika to force activation. Wait, the thing is, he didn't have to activate. I'm not really sure, but maybe just didn't really care. He brings out Kara. I floodgate trap hole it. He negates it. He's just trying to get bodies off the field at this point. He's not going to be able to keep Sprite Elf because I'm going to go into Cholera to kill the Sprite Elf. And then he goes into Mech Knight. So I'm keeping him off twos though, which is good. And then this card's going to bring back Diane. Diane's going to activate and it's going to set a trap. So, and I get my Sarah back from the Soul Sweeper. We're going to activate Holotea here. Which is going to activate Sarah, which is let me summon Puda, which I want to get rid of this Drew's Worm so he can't link it off for an elf. Actually, I think I got rid of all his elves. So these decks usually play 2. He only got 6 cards in his extra deck, but I don't want him linking it off for anything. He's going to kill my cards. This is fine. I have like 1 out for Avermax in the deck, like 1 major out, which is Underworld Goddess. I go into Sarah here. We're gonna activate Holotea, which is gonna trigger Sarah. You remember you can't use Holotea for Underworld Goddess because it is a normal monster when it's on the field. So here comes Underworld Goddess. His Mech Knight. He doesn't read what his cards do and doesn't read what my cards do. So his Mech Knight's gonna target. I mean, he's gonna use Mech Knight to Underworld Goddess, but Underworld Goddess unaffected unless you target it. So Drew's Worm does counter me, but it is what it is. We kill him. I would go into Cholera, but my Cholera is in the graveyard. I only have 1. But I'm actually pretty fine with this. Like, this is actually like super fine with for me. I bring back Pudika. Pudika is going to get rid of this because he's going to try and Zeus. No way Jose. And then I get a trap. Boom. GG. It does come back, but he loses all the material, which is pretty big. And he just throws in the towel. GG, little loser. All right, we're here with game number 2. And again, we're playing the mirror, except they get to go first. So I cry inside a little. They go into Sarah. They got Royal Rare, so they're automatically probably going to win. And I opened 5 monsters, which could be bad, but could be good. I'm going to go Pudica. Pudica grabs Garden. Garden, he maxes. I normal summon. You just take him off Sarah in case he has any traps to activate at any point. I don't want him getting super value off of that. I give him 1 draw to go into Sarah, then I set 2. He goes into Barrier Statue, into Ping, and he uses this to search. And he gets another normal summon, which he's going to use this to bring back Mermelio. I activate Holtea because if... I actually probably could have waited on this because Mermelio does target, and if he targeted Holtea, when this card becomes a monster, the Mermelio doesn't work on it anymore, so maybe I should have just waited. He's gonna pop my field spell, which is huge. The field spell in the mirror match is like massive, in my opinion, because you get so many body advantage from it. It's like it's pretty gnarly. But he's actually gonna do a pretty good job tearing apart my board. Pretty much popping all my back row. Boom, he banishes, bring back another Mermill, pops that one. Goes into Iapes. So this is where he fucks up. He has no traps in the graveyard because he hasn't really been activating traps. He has 2 treacherous trap holes, but none of my cards die to it besides this trap, right? Because these are all unaffected by trap hole effects. So he attacks, but he can't actually like kill anything because he has no traps in the graveyard because he doesn't get the bonus from it. So he goes into Cholera. Cholera brings back Mermelio, which again, it's not going to do anything. So he gets his card back. Easy Baguska. Baguska can't be destroyed by card effect, so it's a perfect card to go in against him to get an easy Zeus activation. And if he has an Imperm here, we probably just lose the game. But if he doesn't, we win the game. So we also have not summoned this turn, so it's going to be pretty much a GG from here. So everything's by, and then I'm able to summon this, which will... He was screwed. I was able to go into another Sarah, then combo off, so GG. Hello, we are here with game number 3. We get to go first this time. I also want to point out, by the way, that I actually believe... so I do a small misplay here. In my mind, I just didn't really care too much because didn't see me actually using evenly. But realistically, you should probably just get rid of this Trap Nightmare because you can... with Sarah, you'd be able to bring... Instead of summoning this Pudica, you'd be able to summon something else, you know what I mean? To bring it back. You'd be able to summon the... I think it's called Diet, the green one. Which can bring a trap from the graveyard. Like a whole trap from the graveyard. But it's against Sprite. We pretty much have him completely locked out. He's going to activate Melfi Caddy, but we have Gravedigger's Trap Hole. So we're going to start comboing off. We go into Cholera here. He activates Caddy. We're going to activate Triple Tactics. We're going to hit him with that Gravedigger's Trap. Oh, this is so funny, by the way. I'm going to draw 2 cards here, but look how funny this is. It says 6k life points. So Merle, I try to pop this. He actually activates Gamma Burst, and I don't think he realizes I have a level 2 here. So my level 2 gets 1400 attack, and I'm telling you right now, I would not have lethal if he didn't do that. Because now I go into Adipus. It gives me just enough damage to go lethal. See, his at 32 minus 14 from this, I would not be able to kill him. I'd be off by 400 points of damage. So thank you for the win, much appreciated. Alrighty, we're here game number 4 against SGE number 4. Our hand is kind of cringe because we have the Pudica, but we have the field spell too. There's a 1 of in my deck, so pretty cringe. But we're going to activate Mermelio, which is going to let me combo off. I will say this, by the way. If you guys wanted to, I didn't do it, but if you guys wanted to, you can summon, you could have went into Peng here. If you went into Ping, you would have been able to use that card to grab the Arachna card, and then you could have went into both those cards at once. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was playing these games, I was kind of like, I think I was like a little too worried about resources, because I was like thinking, I'm like, oh, I only got one XZ, like one of each XZ. Like, I don't want to like use it too quickly. But I feel like you're probably fine to use it too quickly, because like if your opponent breaks your board, and like it's probably just best to just try and just lock him out of trying to break your shit. You know what I mean? But if I did went that other play and he evenly me, or he had like double evenly or something, that probably would have been pretty devastating. But we're gonna activate Floodgate Trap Hole, which I did purposely, even though I knew he was gonna do this, because it locks him to dark, which means he cannot use Romulus either way. So it does fuck up his combo. And now I'm going to be able to use Sarah's effect to summon Put-It, which does banish this. So he's kind of cocked. But then he has Quick Launch, which is makes him a hero. And then we have to activate this, and this just stops his play immediately. And then he activates the Lebellion, and I'm able to Raft to Gravediggers him. So, pretty much stopped every single combo, and his hand was actually really good. Like, his hand was, like, really good to, like, try and play through everything. But we stopped everything, because we're top Gs. Hello, we're here with game number 5, and we're playing as Neat Spirit. And, yeah, our opening is a little awkward. Remember... We're going to activate the Holotea, which triggers this. So I think this is actually a mistake. So my reasoning behind doing this is because I wanted to be able to have Puddingka with the trap being able to go into the graveyard. So in case he deals with my board, I have like some follow-up to protect myself. But I think the better play here was to summon the Traptrix that lets you search the Traptrix out of your deck and add it to the hand when you normal summon it, because the secondary effect lets you activate and set a card. That way I could have gone, I could have activated Sarah's effect, plus I could have gone into Raph instead, because I think Raph would have just been better here, like Raph in defense. But maybe hindsight's 2020. I thought this would have been fine, but maybe not. We set Floodgate Trap Hole, and we also set our Solemn Judgment. Our opponent Dark Rollers us. I end up Solemning this. At the time, I thought this was a good Solemn. I think I probably, like, again, in hindsight, I probably should just summon this to get the trigger off Sarah. Because then he Lightning Storms and kills both my cards in attack, which is really annoying. And then he's playing Flow, so I probably instant lose, so you would think. But he is going to do full combo. And remember that little play I told you about with the getting Holotea in the graveyard and stuff? Well, it's not going to work out the way I thought it was, but it's still going to be pretty good here. We're going to Floodgate Trap Hole, flip this card face down. You got to remember, M-Pin's at 1-2 right now. Our opponent's ball, obviously Moneybags too. He's got like everything Royal Rare. Activates that. That means, so this is sniping center, right? So we end up sniping the middle card, pop. We hit the right card, which is huge. We go into Sarah. We activate Arachnocampa, which is going to trigger and get our Holotea. We're going to normal summon, and then he has Call by the Grave because he's cringe. So I'm like thinking, I'm like, well, the best thing I could do right now then is just attack, pop this. But then he does the unexpected. He protects the M-Pen like a numbskull. Not a good play on his part. Because if he doesn't top deck at level 1, he's just fucked. Absolutely fucked. He top decks a level 1. But he does top Dan Toucan, which is, by the way, he's playing a 50 card flow deck, and he only had like 8 targets in the deck for the level 1. So just very unlucky for us. But he fucks up with his targeting. He targets the Toucan, and then he chain blocks with Rabina, which is really bad, because all he had to do was target Rabina, right? And then, not activate Rabina, right? Because I can't Ash fucking Toucan. You can't Ash Toucan. So the only thing I could have is Imperm. He knows what this is set because we set it off of Sarah, right? So if he played this smarter, he should win this. I mean, the thing is, I do Ash the Eaglin. Like, if he does go into Eaglin, I do Ash the Eaglin instead. But, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter too much. You'll see why it's not going to matter. But he's going to summon, boom. We Ash it. I don't know why he does this, to be completely honest. It is a little perplexing to me. Maybe to create more blockers or something? I don't know. I just activate this because you can only activate one effect of Holiteo per turn. If I send this to the graveyard, I want to be able to activate the graveyard effect. So I'm going to activate Mantis. Boom. Here's Redoer. We're going to kill. We're just going to do as much damage as we can. And then we're going to be top Gs and we're going to go into Baguska. Baguska, if you guys do not know, is the best card physically that you can go into to counter Floateries because it just shuts down their entire deck. I mean, this card's really solid, but he needs a monster to do that, and the only way he's going to have the double summon is, like, Field Spell, I guess. So he's looking for Field Spell, couldn't find it. Looks like it's a GG for me. Don't know how we won that. So for the last game, we are Big Meat Mike versus Mini Nut. It's my arch nemesis. The Mini Nut fights the Big Meat for opposites. Unfortunately, he negates that, but we have Sarah, so not the end of the world. Activate Holy Tia. Boom. Boom. We summon Mantis. We're going to activate Mantis. Boom. Bam. We got the Floodgate. Bam, bam. Here's Rafflesia. Boom. And I think this is beautiful so far. Our opponent's going to activate Pot of E because he's cringe. And he's playing Labyrinth. Cringe. Cringe Labyrinth player is cringe. And we are going to absolutely brutalize him. He activates Welcome. We're going to Solemn. No reason not to Solemn this. If he had, I prefer using Solemn on Welcome rather than Big Welcome. Because Big Welcome does give us 2 draws of Maxi. So, because it summons and then it goes back to his hand. And then if he summons it again, so then he gets absolutely brutalized by using Torby, sending this while I have Rafflesia on the field. Is this guy crazy? You just took 2,000 damage, bud, and you don't get anything for that. Yikes. That ain't good. I set the Traptrix Soul. I'm going to use Holatea now to special summon Myrmilio to pop the field spell because the field spell is annoying. I don't want him to start picking apart my back row. And he just concedes because we're better than him. So, looks like the Big Meat beats the Mini Nut. Sorry to hear that, folks. Hello and welcome back to the recap. Thank you for watching this far. If you guys like this type of content, please consider subscribing. It helps out the channel greatly. And plus, my content is lit, so just do it. And also join our Discord. We host tournaments every Friday. If you're watching this on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, we host a tournament. Come check us out. The rules are pretty unrestricted for the most part, and it should be pretty fun. How did this deck perform? This deck performed pretty damn well. We climbed from Diamond 3 to Diamond 1. And yeah, I know, we're not in Masters. I just haven't been grinding, but we should be in Masters soon with the rate that we're playing this deck at. The deck's solid, very solid. The deck I feel like is in a really, really good place right now. I'm playing against a lot of people who have a lot of hate cards. Like they're playing a lot of trap hate cards, and we're still doing fine. We're playing against a lot of trap mirrors, and we're still doing very, very good. So the only thing I will say for climbing with this deck, the games kind of take a long time. The games are usually pretty long, especially with the decision making and stuff on your cards. Even though you're not doing like a full combo or per se, you still have to think a lot about like what you're activating. So and like what you're responding with what. So I say those matches are pretty long grind games for the most part. But yeah, I think the deck's like really, really good. The one thing I would say you might possibly change with the deck is maybe going down on the Solemn Judgments, which sounds crazy because Evenly does fucking suck. But you know what else sucks is like if you open like 2 Evenlies and like you can go into Sarah, but you have like or 2 Evenlies and Mermelio, they Ash and Mermelio, and then you go into Sarah, and then you have no follow-up plays because Sarah doesn't activate off Judgment. So I don't know. Maybe Judgment cutting it to 2 might be better. But I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I was just getting unlucky, but that's the only thing I would say. That's the main brick I was having was like I would open like Traptrix monsters, they would get ashed, and then Mermelio would just or even the like one of these cards would just like get ashed, and then Sarah just fucking does nothing. It's kind of just that 800 vanilla monster at that point, right? Sarah actually plays through Evenly pretty good because they evenly your board. You get rid of everything but Sarah, and then Sarah can special summon a monster, and then the monster's effect activates and it lets you set a trap, so you can get some pretty good recursion there. So Evenly is not the end of the world, but it does suck if they evenly like 6 things, obviously. But yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I gave Traptrix a 9. I mean, I gave a Labyrinth, like, I believe a 9 or a 9.5. I'm going to give this deck, I'm going to give it, like, an 8.59. It's, like, really good. And like I said, the only thing I would say, it might be a little lower than I normally would rate this. But the only reason I'm going to say it's a little lower is because of the fact that, like, people are actually playing, like, hate cards. You know what I mean? So I think we're going to see a massive influx of people starting to play Denku Sekka. We're going to see a massive influx of people playing like Red Reboot and Lightning Storms and stuff like that. Lightning Storm isn't too bad because you do have Arachnacampa. So you just search it off of your Pinkula. So there is a plus to that. But I will say for the most part, it's going to be rough if people are starting to play a ton of back row removal. Plus, everyone's playing Evenly already, so Evenly plus a ton of back row removal, going to be kind of rough. I'm going to say that right now. Scale on a tier scaling, I would probably put this. I put Labyrinth at tier 1 to 2. I'm going to put this solidly tier 2. I could be wrong, and if this ends up being a tier 1 deck, and I'm just an idiot, then sorry, guys, but I think it's a tier 2 deck. The reason I'm going to put it at tier 2, hear me out before you guys get tilted, is because I like I said, it like Ash really hurts this deck too. Like Ash hurts the Labyrinth deck too, but like the Labyrinth can just top deck like any removal spell or like Big Welcome or something, and they got full recursion again, where this deck needs a little more work. You need at least like 2 to 3 cards to like do your thing. You know what I mean? Where Labyrinth, like pretend you're in a long drawn out game and you top deck Big Welcome, you play Big Welcome, you bounce, and then obviously your other Welcome activates, summons it, plays it to the, and if you have any of the furniture pieces, they add back to hand. So it's like you get a lot of recursion, where this deck is like you need at least like 2 cards to really get things going. I mean, yeah, things are pretty sweet if you open like Mermello or Mantis and you get the activations off, then yeah, Sarah can go crazy. But yeah, I just think this deck is a little more susceptible to getting interrupted by Ash or an Imperm and just does nothing afterwards, where Labyrinth has a little bit more playability through it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this deck ends up being the fucking the bee's knees. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see next, and we'll try and work on it. Remember, I think we're gonna probably do Dark World next, but who knows? We're gonna work on Dark World, Evil Eye, Generator. There's a bunch of decks we're working on, so let me know what you guys want to see next, though. All right, goodbye.